Imagine your boss walks up to your desk and says, "Hey, I want to hand you a few $1,000s this year. No catch. You just have to fill out one form." You'd grab a pen, right? Here's the strange part. Millions of people are offered almost exactly that, every single paycheck, and they walk right past it. The form sits unsigned. The money goes back in the company's pocket. That money has a name. It's called the 401k match. And for a lot of workers, it might be the single most valuable thing their job offers besides the salary itself. So today, let's slow it all the way down. What a 401k actually is, what the match is, why it's the closest thing to free money you'll ever find in personal finance, how to make sure you're getting all of it, and one catch, called vesting, that you need to understand before you celebrate. Quick note before we start. This is education, not financial advice. We're explaining how the machine works so you can make your own call. Let's get into it. Let's start with the box this money lives in, the 401k. A 401k is simply a retirement account that your employer sets up for you. The name comes from a section of the U.S. tax code. That's it, no deeper meaning. Think of it as a special savings bucket with two key features. First, the money comes straight out of your paycheck before you ever see it. You pick a percentage, say 5% of your pay, and your employer automatically routes that slice into the account. You never have to remember to transfer it. It just happens. Second, and this is the part people miss, most 401k contributions are pre-tax. Contribution just means the money you put in. Pre-tax means it's taken out before income tax is calculated. So if you earn $50,000 and put in $3,000, the government often taxes you as if you earned $47,000. You lower your tax bill today, and the money grows untouched until retirement. Now, there's a ceiling on how much you can put in each year. That limit is set by the IRS, and, important, it changes almost every year. So I'm not going to quote a number that'll be stale by the time you watch this. Just know, there's an annual cap, and you can check the current IRS limit anytime in about 10 seconds. So that's the box. A pre-tax bucket, filled automatically from your paycheck, that grows over time, useful on its own. But the box isn't the magic. The magic is what your employer drops in next to your money. Here's where it gets good, the employer match. A match means your employer adds their own money to your account, based on how much you put in. You contribute, they contribute too. It's a built-in bonus tied directly to your savings. You'll usually see it written in a formula that looks a little cryptic the first time. Something like 100% match up to 4%. Let's decode that, because once you can read it, you can read any of them. The first number, 100%, is how much they add for every dollar you contribute. 100% means dollar for dollar. You put in $1, they put in $1. The second number, up to 4% equal, is the limit on your pay. They'll match. They'll keep matching until your contributions hit 4% of your salary. After that, you can keep saving. But the free money stops. You'll see other shapes too. 50% match up to 6% means they add 50 cents for every dollar you put in, up to 6% of your pay. Same idea, different dials. And here's the honest part. Every employer's formula is different. There is no standard match. Some are generous, some are modest, some offer none at all. The only way to know yours is to find your specific plan document, usually from HR or your benefits portal, and read the formula. That one sentence is worth real money. So why do I keep calling this free money? Let's actually prove it. When your employer matches your contribution dollar for dollar, look at what just happened to your money. You put in $1 instantly before anything else, it's worth $2. That's a 100% return, immediately, not over a year. Not if the market cooperates, the moment the match lands. Now, let me be clear about why that number is so wild. Out in the rest of the financial world, a good year in the stock market might return 7, 8, 10%, and even that's not guaranteed. It carries risk. Nothing else in everyday personal finance reliably hands you 100% the instant you act. A full employer match does, on the portion they match. That's the entire reason it stands alone. It's not an investment you hope works out. It's a return that's already locked in the second the money hits your account. So when someone skips their match, they're not just missing an opportunity. They're turning down a guaranteed raise. The company offered them more total pay, and they said no thanks. Which brings us to the only move that really matters here. Contribute at least enough to capture the full match. This is the line in the sand. Whatever else you do with your money, getting the complete match should usually come first, because nothing else pays you instantly like this. Go back to 100% match up to 4%. To grab every dollar, you contribute 4% of your pay. Contribute only 2%, and you've left half the free money on the table. Contribute 0, and you've left all of it. Notice something. Worker A and Worker C have the same salary, the same employer, the same offer. The only difference is one of them signed the form. That gap isn't luck. It's just a choice nobody walked them through. Now, can you contribute more than the match level? Often, yes, up to that yearly IRS limit we mentioned. Whether you should depends on your whole financial picture, and that's your call to make. But the floor, the part that's almost universally worth it, is hitting the full match. That's the free money. Everything above it is a separate decision. Okay, I promised you a catch, and an honest channel delivers the catch. It's called vesting. Vesting is the rule that decides when the employer's matched money truly becomes yours to keep. Your own contributions? Always yours, 100% from day one. Nobody can touch those. But the match your employer adds sometimes comes with a waiting period. Here's how it usually plays out. Some employers vest you immediately. The match is yours the instant it lands. Others use a schedule. You might have to stay employed for a certain number of years before the match is fully yours. Leave before then, and you could forfeit some or all of it. There are a couple of common shapes. In one, you go from 0 to fully vested all at once after a set number of years. In another, you vest a little more each year, say 20% annually, until you reach 100%. The exact schedule is in your plan document right next to the match formula. Why does this matter in real life? If you're thinking about changing jobs, it's worth knowing how vested you are. Walking out the door a few months before a vesting milestone could mean leaving real matched money behind. Not a reason to stay in a job you hate, just a number worth checking before you decide. Let's put it all together with one example. And to be totally clear, these numbers are illustrative, picked for easy math, not a prediction about you. Say you earn $50,000 a year. Your plan offers a 100% match up to 5% of your pay. 5% of $50,000 is $2,500. So you contribute $2,500 over the year. Your employer, matching dollar for dollar up to that 5%, adds $2,500 of their own. You put in $2,500. You ended the year with $5,000. You doubled your money before it did anything else. Now here's where it connects to something we covered before, compound interest. Remember the big idea. Money grows on itself, and the earliest dollars grow the longest. If you missed that one, it's video 5. That match $2,500 isn't sitting in a drawer. It's invested, and it has decades to compound. So you're not just doubling your money once. You're handing decades of growth a head start it never would have had, paid for by your employer. That's the quiet power of the match. The instant 100% is great, but the instant 100% compounding for 30 years? That's the part that changes the size of your retirement. So let's bring it home. A 401k is a pre-tax retirement bucket, filled automatically from your paycheck. The employer match is extra money your company adds based on what you contribute. When that match is dollar for dollar, it's an instant 100% return, something nothing else in everyday finance reliably gives you. To get it, contribute at least enough to capture the full match. Anything less is leaving a guaranteed raise on the table. And watch vesting, the schedule that decides when the employer's portion is truly yours. The single most useful thing you can do this week. Pull up your plan document, find your match formula and your vesting schedule, and ask one question. Am I contributing enough to get every dollar they're offering? Because the boss really is standing there with a check. All you have to do is take it. And remember, this is education, not advice. Your numbers, your plan, your call. If this made the match click, hit subscribe. We break down one money machine at a time. No hype, no jargon. Next up, renting versus buying. The math nobody shows you. We'll run the actual numbers. The ones the realtor and the landlord both leave out. See you there.